Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me for Status Strength. This is a slow, mindful resistance workout. So we'll be working the entire body. I have some dumbbells here that I'm going to be using as an example. If you don't have any weights with you, that's okay. I'm going to also be just encouraging you either way, with the weight, without the weight. So see how that goes for you. Let's get started here with a little bit of a warm up. I'm going to have you be have you come to a standing position. And we're just going to begin to warm up those hamstrings, the backs of the thighs, with some simple forward bends here. So bending forward, I'm just sliding my hands down the shins and coming back to standing. Notice as I bend forward, I don't want to poke my rear end out. I don't want to arch my back. I want to keep my back straight so that I have roughly a 90-degree angle here. Okay, I don't want an arch in the back. So as I drop down, I'm going to squeeze my thighs toward each other. As I stand up, I'm going to push them away from each other. Dropping down, squeezing toward each other, standing up, pushing away. Let's do about 4 more of these. And stand. And 3. And stand. And 2. And stand. Last one here. And stand. We're going to go right into a squat. So legs are bent, feet are slightly wider than hip width. I'm just going to have a seat in an imaginary chair and stand up. So sitting back and standing up. Now for this one, my rear end is sticking out a little bit because I have to bend slightly forward here to balance, right? Or I'm going to tip backward. So I bend slightly forward to balance, and the back is going to arch just a little bit. We'll do 4 more of these and stand. 3. Really press into the feet. Stand up. All right, this last one, we're going to have a seat here. Pull the shoulders back and sit for 4, 3. Press into your big toe, press into your little toe, and 1. Stand up for 4. And 3, and 2, and 1. Very nice. Next warm up here is what we call a row. I'm going to come onto a bench. You can use a chair. You can come down, you could stand. You could use a chair. You could use a sofa. Whatever works for you. I'm going to stand here. And I'm just going to put some very light weights in my hands for this. Now, I'm bent over at the waist, want to avoid arching the back. Keep the back nice and flat, and just pull my hands back toward my hip bones. So if you take a look at my elbows, I've got about a 90-degree angle in the elbow. So I'm just going to drop down, pull it back. Drop down, pull it back. So when I inhale, the belly can fill. When I exhale, I pull the navel toward the spine. Here's 4, pull it back, and 3, and 2. Last 1, and relax the arms. Stand it up. Last warm-up exercise is going to be a calf raise. So I'm going to, got my handy dandy little foam roller here. My feet are roughly hip width apart. So roughly straight lines in the outer thigh. The lines in the outer thighs, or the outside lines of my thighs, are roughly hip width. And I'm just going to raise up onto my toes and relax. And lift and relax. So when I lift, I'm lifting my heels. I'm thinking about reaching my heels up toward the back of my knees, and then I drop down. If I think about reaching the heels toward the backs of my knees, it will help me lift up A lot of us have very weak ankles, and especially the outer ankles. So you may find yourself coming out to the side. Just lift up. And you can also think about an imaginary bar between, see, I just fell out to the side. An imaginary bar between your heels, so that when you lift, you're squeezing on that bar, and that is forcing you to engage through the inside of the calf. Here's 3, and lift. And 2, and lift. Last 1, and lift. And release. So we've just done 4 exercises. We're going to do 8 in total, but we've done our first cycle of 4. So now we're going to grab some weights. For the deadlift, I'm going to grab 20 pounds. If you don't have 20-pound weights, it really doesn't matter, especially if you're not familiar with a deadlift itself. A light weight will be fine. But I'm going to come back to my standing position, which was where we started. The weights are going to come around in front, like so. And I'm going to gently bend over, squeezing my feet toward each other as I exhale, squeezing my feet away. So inhale down, exhale together and up. And down. Exhale, squeeze the feet together, squeeze the hands together, and lift. Inhale and exhale. So let's do 4 of these. And stand. And 3. And stand. 2. And stand. Last 1. And stand. Bring the weights to the sides. You can just squat down to the floor and drop the weights. All right, we're getting warm in here already. Our next exercise is a squat. So grab your weights. I'm going to grab 10-pound weights for the squats. Feet are about hip width apart. The shoulders, I'm going to shrug those shoulders back. And I want to straighten out my back. I'm moving my dumbbell so that you can see me straighten out my back and pull my navel toward my spine. So now when I inhale, my belly's going to fill. When I exhale, pull the navel to the spine and stand it nice and tall. So inhale, exhale. As I inhale, I'm going to squeeze my feet toward each other, press my rear end out, but keep that back flat. Exhale, stand. Inhale, feet come toward each other. As I stand, I'm going to push my feet away from each other. Inhale, feet toward each other. Exhale, feet away. We have 4 more to go. And stand. And 3. Stand. Exhale down, feet come toward each other. Stand it up nice and tall, feet push away. Last 1. And stand. We're going to do 1 more of these. Really sit back in your rear. Lengthen through your back. Take a deep breath and exhale. Stand it up for 4. Press the feet out. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. From here, we'll come into our rowing exercise. I'm going to, again, just stand here. I have 2 weights in my hand. As I exhale, remember, I want to pull my navel toward my spine. So I take a deep breath and then pull back. Inhale, pull back. And when I pull back, I'm pulling back with my elbows as well as my navel. Pull back. Here we go. Here's 4, release. 3, 2, 1. One last. We're going to pull it up and hold it. Hold it, hold it. Deep breath. Pull the navel in. Squeeze the thighs together. Push them out. Now drop down for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And relax. Nice job. Woo. Here we go. Up to our calf raise now. I'm going to turn to the side here. Again, my feet are roughly hip width apart. I'm going to think about that imaginary bar that I'm pressing in between my heels. All right. Squeeze the bar between the heels. Take a nice deep breath and lift. Inhale, exhale. So as I exhale, I'm squeezing that imaginary bar between my heels. Here's 4 and 3 and 2. Last 1. And of course, we have to do 1 more to grow on, right? Hold it here. Hold it here. Squeeze the bar for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Take a deep breath and pull in for 4. Drop down 3. Drop down 2. Drop down 1. And relax. We're moving kind of quickly because we don't have a whole lot of time. But the idea with moving a little more quickly is that hopefully your heart rate gets a little bit higher. So I'm going to go right back to my deadlift weights. Remember, those were slightly heavier for me. They don't have to be slightly heavier if you don't want them to be. And in fact, if you're not familiar with this exercise and you prefer to use no weight at all, that's fine. This will still be a very valid exercise. I'm going to bring the weights together in front of the body. Feet are roughly hip width apart. I look at the outside lines of my legs. And from here, as I inhale, I'll drop down. Exhale, stand it up. Inhale, belly fills, thighs squeeze together. Exhale, push the feet apart. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And I'm beginning to rotate those weights to the sides now. Bring it back to the front. Inhale down. Exhale back. Inhale, squeezing hands and feet together. Exhale, pushing hands and feet apart. Here's 2. Stand it up. Last 1. Stand it up. 1 more to grow on here, folks. Take it down and hold for 4 and 3 and 2. Everything's pushing together right now. Here we go. We're going to lift it up. Everything pulls apart. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And we'll release those weights. Taking up our squat weights now. So I'm using slightly smaller weights for the squat. Knees again, roughly hip width apart. So I look at the outside lines of my thighs. I want them roughly straight up and down. Take a nice deep breath and inhale. Exhale, stand. Inhale. Exhale, stand. As we inhale, we're squeezing the inner thighs together. As we exhale, we're pushing them apart. Those shoulders stay squared off. The back stays flat. So I think this is 4, 3, 2, keep the legs engaged. That's what that pushing out and in is all about. It's all about keeping your thighs engaged. We're going to drop down and hold for 4. Squeeze the thighs and hands together. 2 and 1, stand up, push it apart for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Whew. We'll rotate or turn it around. I'm going to stay facing this way so that you can see, so that I'm facing the opposite side now. Feet again, roughly hip width. I'm going to bend over. Exhale, allow my belly to fill, or inhale. Exhale, pull it back. I'm trying to get to an angle so you can see my belly fill, and it pulls back when I exhale. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pull it up again. Hold it here for 4 and 3. Squeeze hands and feet toward each other. Drop down, pushing everything apart for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And drop. Woo! All right. Coming back, I'm going to actually put some ankle weights on, because this is going to add a little bit of resistance to my calf raise. If you have ankle weights, and I will put these in the list of suggested items for this workout. So you can use ankle weights. You could also use hand weights on the wrists. That too will add some resistance to your calf raise. And then you can use a foam roller like so. You could balance using no assistance at all. Either way. Take a nice deep breath again. I'm going to focus on, as I lifting my heels toward the backs of my knees. So inhale, exhale, pull it up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. We have 2 more. Here's 2 and 1. We're going to take it up and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop down for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And you can remove those ankle weights for now. We're going to come down on the floor. Actually, I am going to leave the ankle weights on for illustration purposes. I'm also going to bring some light hand weights and some ankle weights here. So let's come down onto the floor. We're going to do another leg exercise, but this one's slightly different. You may have done this exercise standing. This is what we call a leg extension. So I'm just going to have you extend your legs. Drop the knees down toward the shoulders. Push them up and squeeze them together. Drop them down toward the shoulders. Push them up. Drop them down. Push them up. Drop them down. Push them up. Drop them down. Now, there's not a whole lot of weight here. And this is similar to an upside down squat. Last one right here. We're going to squeeze the knees and ankles together. Actively flex the feet. And we're going to bend the knees and straighten, and bend and straighten. So as I bend the knees, I'm squeezing everything together. As I straighten, I'm not going to separate, but I am making an effort to press my legs apart. I'm not going to separate them, but I am making an effort to do that. Here's 4, and extend. Squeeze the tops of the thighs. 3, and extend. Last 2, and extend. Last 1, and extend. And bend the knees. From here, we're going to take this into an inner and outer thigh lift. I'm going to have you lie on your left side. The right knee, right shin rests on the floor. Notice now, I flexed my feet. So my right knee is resting on the floor. My right arch is resting on the floor. My left outer thigh is resting on the floor. And the outside of my left foot is resting on the floor. I take a deep breath, allow the belly to fill. As I exhale, I pull my navel in and lift that leg. Inhale, fill. Exhale. And in and out. And in and out. So let the belly expand on the inhalation. The efforts on the exhalation. Pull the navel toward the spine as you lift that thigh. Here's 4, release, and 3, release, last 2, release, last 1, release, hold it up and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, keep flexing the foot. 3, 2, and 1, and relax. We're going to stack the knees, one on top of the other. My feet are roughly in line with my back. So, something like that. Feet roughly in line with my back. My knees are slightly in front of my body. So I'm going to rest, stack one on top of the other. Again, flex my feet. Inhale and just open up in the heels. Come back down. So I'm going to inhale before I start. Sorry about that. Exhale, pulling the navel in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 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 Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. We're going to pulse it here for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep flexing the feet. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. I'm going to switch it around. I'm just going to flip around here so that I can keep facing my camera. First exercise here. My left knee and shin come to the floor. I'm going to flex that foot. Back leg, flex the foot. Rest my head on the side. Expand through the belly. Exhale and lift. Exhale and lift. So each time I exhale, I'm pulling my navel in. That is an active abdominal crunch, friends. So don't pass up that opportunity. We're not going to do a whole lot of exercises for the abs because if you're doing these correctly, you're getting ab exercise, ab work throughout this whole hour. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Again, bending the knees, stacking one on top of the other. My feet are roughly in line with my back. So if I had a yoga mat, for example, I could line my feet up with the back of the mat, and then I would line my shoulders and back up with the back edge of the mat. Flex my feet again. Here we go. Lift and lower. As we lift up, we exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, pull the navel back. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Lift and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hold that abdominal tight and relax. So we started with our leg extensions. We then moved into an inner and outer thigh lift. The next strength exercise we're going to be doing is a plain old push-up. Now, you've got a lot of options for a push-up. We can stay up on hands and knees. The hips can stay over the knees, and I just drop my upper body. All right? That's one method. The further my hips are behind me, all right, so the further my hips go behind my knees, the easier this becomes. All right? I can just bring the hips on top of the knees. It's a little bit harder. I can bring the hips quite a ways in front of the knees, and this is going to become a little harder. Or I can bring my hips as far away from my knees as possible, and this gets a little more difficult. So I tend to get very tight in my chest because I did way too many push-ups in my younger days. So I like to err on the side of making this really easy. So you choose what level you want. Remember, the further back the hips are, the easier this becomes. The more you send the hips forward, the more difficult this becomes. So choose your level. We'll be doing 8 of these. So as we drop down, we inhale, exhale, pull the navel in. Inhale, pull the navel in. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold it right here. Pulse 8, 7. Keep pulling your navel back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. From here, we're going to come into a rear delt lift. Now, I'm not going to use any weights for this. You can, if you do choose to use weights, you can use 1 to 2 pounds. I don't recommend going heavier than that. Arms are nice and wide here. So I'm making a T with my body. And I'm going to hunch my shoulders up and pull them away from my ears. Hunch them up, pull them away. So one more time, hunch and pull them away. Now I'm going to extend out through my fingers, tuck my forehead, and lift and lower. As I exhale, I'm pulling my navel to my spine. So lift and exhale. And 7, and 6, and 5. There's 4. Press the tops of your feet to the floor. Last 2. Last 1. Now we're going to take it up and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse it 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. And hopefully you were feeling that in the backs of your shoulders. We're going to bring the elbows right underneath the shoulders. Press the palms of the hands together. Take a nice deep breath as you exhale. Pull your navel to your spine. And just give yourself a nice stretch with the front and the back of the core. And then relax. We'll come to the back again for our second set. And I'm having you do these upside down squats because I think they're good for hip flexibility. So we'll just do 6 of them this time. Dropping down, pushing up together. Drop down, flex the feet, push up. Down and up. Down and up. Last 3. Push. 2. Push. Last 1. Push. Now squeeze knees and ankles together. Flex the feet. Here we go. Bend the knees and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. And I should demonstrate a better abdominal engagement. Here's 3. Pulling the navel back. And 2. And 1. Hold it up and press the heels to the ceiling. Squeeze knees and ankles together. Pull the navel in for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And relax. We'll roll to the right side. Bring that left shin to the floor. Flex both feet. Here we go. 8, 7. Pulling the navel in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pulse at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Bend the knees. Keep the feet flexed. Line the feet up with the back roughly. If you have a mat, you can line up your back with the edge of the mat as well as your feet. Flex the feet and lift the knee. 7. So when we exert the effort, that's when we exhale. Here's 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Take it up and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to have you just roll right onto your belly. Let's go right into our push-ups here. Coming onto all fours. Again, your choice. Hips stay back, hips come forward, or hips come all the way forward as you come up onto your feet. Here we go. Drop down. 8. So we inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. As you exhale, pull your shoulder blades toward your hips. Here's 4, 3, 2. Here's 1. Now hold it right here. I'm going to have you squeeze your hands and palms toward each other, but they're not going to move. So it's 8, 7, 6. I'm just squeezing the hands and palms toward each other. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. I'm going to flip it over. Some of those inner thigh exercises on the opposite side. Right knee comes onto the floor. Flex that foot. Left leg extends. Flex that foot. As we exhale, we pull the navel back and lift. 7, 6, 5. Keep pulling the navel back. 3, 2, and 1. And pulse. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Stack the knees. Walk the feet back so that the soles of the feet are roughly in line with the back. Flex the feet and lift. So I'm lifting the toes away. I'm lifting the toes on this top leg away from the toes on the bottom leg. Here's 4 and 3, pulling the navel in. Last 2, last 1. Here we go, pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. We're going to roll over onto the belly for our last set of rear delts. We've got one more cycle here. So tuck the head, squeeze knees and ankles together. Start by practicing that lift with the abdominals and shrug the shoulders back. Shrug the shoulders back. There we go. Tuck the forehead, shrug the shoulders back. Stretch the fingertips apart. Exhale and lift. Lift. Last 4 and 3 and 2. Last 1. 8 pulses here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Let's roll it over onto the back again. One more cycle here. Start with let's do 8 of these upside down squats. Actively flex the feet, bend the knees, take them down toward the floor. If you were doing a yoga pose, this would be the equivalent of a happy baby, and you would actually be pulling your knees toward the floor. And we're just going to push up and squeeze the knees and ankles together, working through the inner thigh. So down and push up and together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Squeeze knees and ankles together. We're going to bring those knees just above those hips. Bend and straighten. Exhale, straighten. Here's 4. Squeeze those thighs. 3. Squeeze. 2. Squeeze. Last 1. Squeeze. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. From here, I need to take a little break. I'm going to pause the video for just a moment. Doodle. So coming back here, we'll finish out here with our side lying leg lifts. Line up the bottoms of the feet with the back. Flex the feet. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5. Work that abdominal. 2, and 1. Let's extend the opposite leg. The right shin comes forward. Both feet are flexed. We're going to lift 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. We'll roll over onto the belly for that rear delt lift. Rolling over into the belly, arms are nice and wide. Shrug the shoulders back, tuck the chin. Exhale, lift. 7, 5. Keep pulling your shoulders away from your ears. 3, 2, and 1. Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go into our push-up from here. Here we go. Press it up. As we push up, we're pulling the navel to the spine. Inhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pull the navel in. Last 1. We're going to flip it over. Finish out with that opposite leg. Bending the knees, lining up the soles of the feet with the spine. Flex the feet and lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Let's extend that bottom leg. Flex the top. Both feet. Flex the top knee. And both feet are flexed. Here we go. 8. Pull the navel in. 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I'm not sure that we did our pulses on that last set here. So let's finish out with those pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. So from here, we'll come down into final Shavasana. And really, final Shavasana, it's appropriate for any exercise because we're just giving the body a moment to cool down. If we let the body go, let the body take care of itself, it will deliver blood and nutrients to all the places where both blood and nutrients are needed. If we scurry off to the next activity, then the body has to direct blood to the brain, to the legs, to whatever it is that we're doing for that activity. So give yourself a moment here to let the blood circulate, removing waste products, cooling the body, and delivering nutrients to those areas that we've just worked. It may seem counterintuitive because you're not doing anything. But this is the most efficient way to cleanse the waste from those areas of the body that you just worked. Because if you don't place demands on the body elsewhere, the body will focus on cleanup. So give yourself a moment here to lie still, to cool down, we have reached the end of our time. And notice you don't need a whole lot of time for that cool down. Just a nice, quiet relaxation for a minute or two. You're going to know when you're done because you're going to feel cooler. Your body's going to feel cooler. It's going to feel a little more rested, and it's going to feel ready to go. So on your next inhalation, we'll gently roll to one side. Feel the blood moving. We'll come to an upright position. Thank you very much for joining me for today's edition of Status Strength. I hope this was useful for you, and I hope that you'll join me again. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. for AM Status Hearing. Namaste.